Hello and welcome back. I am Sandy with Sandy's Organized Chaos, and I just wanted to hop on really quick and reflect a little bit on this past year. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster this past year with its highs and lows. If you've been keeping up with my vlog channel, you'll know that I was recently diagnosed, or I was diagnosed at the beginning of last year, or this year, with supraventricular tachycardia, which was a pretty frightening experience to say the least. Nevertheless, I made sure that I took charge of my health, and you'll be happy to know that I am now I'm almost there, at 100 pounds down. This was just my way of taking back my health and trying to do what I can to better myself, especially for my family, because I definitely want to be here in the long run. But I'd like to take this opportunity to just express to you guys how thankful I am to have you here. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for watching my videos. It means the world to me and my family. I also want to send out a huge thank you to my husband for his unconditional love and support through everything, as always. Okay, so with that being said, today's tutorial, 12 new chapters, 365 new chances. I hope that this year brings many new chances for sure for each and every one of you. So I hope you enjoy this tutorial. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and let's wake up, prep these tumblers, and slay all day. Let's do this. So I think it was back in July, I had made my way to Michael's, and you know, they have their sales here and there, and they happened to have all their tumblers on sale, and they had these black ones on sale for super cheap. I think it was like $3. I know it said $6, but it was like half that. So I was like, you know what, I'll take it and we'll see what I can come up with. So here we are. So after I got all the decals peeled off, I'm going to go ahead and give it just a light sanding. I'm just using 220 grit sandpaper. I am going to come up along the rim and really sand that down, revealing the silver underneath, just so that way I can have a little peace of mind, because I'm not a huge fan of these particular coated tumblers that you can get from Michael's. I don't know. I don't really like the coating on it. I feel like they nick really easily. So I just want to make sure that I know that my epoxy is really going to adhere down to that tumbler base. Then I'll go ahead and come through and wipe it down. I'm just going to wipe it down with rubbing alcohol. Some people don't like to use rubbing alcohol. You don't have to. You can use a tack cloth or rinse it off in water, however you guys want to do it. So for this first portion, we're going to go ahead and pull out our leans, tack it over and over again. It needs to be the tack it over and over again, just because I'm going to be burnishing down some foils over top. So that's what I like to use for that. I also want a nice chip brush. You guys know chip brushes are life when it comes to tumbler making. I use them all the time almost, okay, for everything. Brushing off glitter, doing cheated, leopard, everything. All right, so got to have a chip brush for sure. I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of that glue down into a dish, so that way I can take my brush and pounce it around and get it to fully cover my bristles for me, because that's what we want. We want texture when we go to apply this foil. We want it to have this pretty texture to it, and we're going to be doing this really pretty swirl effect. So what I like to do when I do my swirls is I'm going to go ahead and load up my brush. I'm just going to tap it around, make sure my bristles are full, and then I'm going to make a line straight across the bottom. And I'm trying not to speed this up. You guys know I try not to. I try to keep it all in tune with what I'm doing here, so you guys know how long it takes me to do it, So now once I get that line, I'm going to go straight up off one side. I'm going to use my wand that is in my cup as a guide as well. I'm going to go up and straight across and right around to the opposite side of it. And I want you guys to notice that I'm not fully filling in. I'm doing like these dab motions, almost like veining effect to it. And I just want these splotches of the glue here and there. Now you're going to watch me flip my tumbler around, and we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So I'm going to come up off the bottom where my line is on the bottom and do the same thing just on the other side. So now I'm just going to bring that up and around the opposite side of my wand, and there you go. You have this swirl effect. So it's like the same on each side. See how that's done? Easy peasy. Just up one side, right off to the other side of your wand. There you go. So again, I'm just going to come through and kind of dabble around some more with my glue, just kind of making it until I get it how I like it. I'm going to kind of thicken things up here and there. I'm going to add some just random splotches in the voids that don't have anything. So again, this is just all up to you. You just kind of visualize it in your head and imagine your foil stuck down to it. Again, you just want it splotchy. You want it kind of rugged. That's all you got to do. So now with this Aleene's, tack it over and over again. The deal with it is it's going to dry, and how you know it's dry is it'll turn completely clear. It won't be white anymore. And after it is dried, it will still have a really good tack to it. So that way you can burnish down glitters or foils or however you guys want to apply whatever kind of things you want to. So that looks good to me. I'm just going to set that off the side and let that dry. I am going to come through and hit it up. Like I'm going to use my hair dryer to help speed up the process, okay? Because I'm impatient. But the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of that glue that is in my dish. And I'm going to scrape it up out of my dish and scrape it back into my glue bottle so that way we don't waste it. Then you want to make sure that you come through and wash all your utensils right away so that way that glue doesn't ruin your brushes. Okay, I think I said foil earlier, but I'm using flakes, right? The ones that are all bunched up, you'll see. Anyways, it's flakes, not foils, but however you guys want to do it. So we're going for like browns and bronzes and golds, so I have this pretty copper color that I'm going to use. Now I forgot right here, I just started taking it and trying to burnish it down, and I realized it's all clumped together, and it won't burnish down very well. So you need to pull it out of there and pull it apart and fluff it out so it doesn't be all clumpy on you. But if you have it in your hands, you'll see what I'm talking about. It'll be like hard and it won't lay flat. Anyways, just to make sure you fluff it out. All right, there we go. That's better. Then you're just going to come through and lay your flakes down or whatever this is called and just burnish it down with your hands. And there you go. This is super simple so far. And to be quite honest, once it's all said and done, it was really pretty kind of just like this. And then just put epoxy over it and a decal, and this would have been nice as well, too. All right, once you're done filling in all those gaps, I just went around and made sure that everything was filled in with a little bit of those flakes. And there we go. Look at that. So pretty. So now I definitely want to make sure that I come through and I'm going to seal this down either with a spray sealer or a liquid sealer before we add our epoxy. And don't forget that fun struggle of getting those fluffy flakes back into that little jar. Continuing on, we have our epoxy. We have 20 milliliters of epoxy. We want a nice fluid base for what we're about to do. But the first thing we want to do before we get that epoxy on is we're going to tint that epoxy. And as you've seen there, I have some brown epoxy dye. So epoxy dye is super duper concentrated. So when I go to do up my colorant here, I'm going to do this little bit. That's all I'm going to do every single time. I did this about 3 times. And the reason why you only want to do a little bit at a time because you don't want to accidentally do too much. I knew I wanted a bit of a darker base, so as you go, this is going to give it just this, it's almost like a light tea color. That's the only way I could explain it. And I knew that wasn't going to be enough because I wanted it pretty healthy dosing of it. So I came through with a second one, and again, it still wasn't as dark as I wanted it. So then the third one definitely did the trick. I'm going to go ahead and put a little dab on the end there and stir that in. And that's what I wanted. I wanted that nice, deep, rich color of that brown. Could you use alcohol inks to do this? Of course you could if you wanted to. It's not going to be as deep or rich of a color, but you definitely could use alcohol inks instead of having to purchase dyes if you don't have the dyes. Then we're going to go ahead and put all 20 mLs of this epoxy onto our tumbler. Now you may be wondering, Sandy, why did you dye the epoxy? Well, what's going to happen is this is going to shift around and that copper is going to richen up in some areas and still stay that coppery color here and there. So it just gives it definitely a depth that I was looking for. And this is something that you could keep on going. So after this cured, you could add another layer of the copper over top and just kind of keep going until you get that depth of everything. It's definitely a really unique look. Now you also may be wondering, why are we using 20 mLs on this? That seems like an awful lot. Well, we want a nice thick coating of our epoxy because we're going to be coming through and adding alcohol inks over top, and we want to make sure that our alcohol inks move around and do what we want them to do. If you don't have enough epoxy down on your base, then it will kind of clump up and get stuck, and we definitely don't want that. So we want a nice fluid base for those inks to be able to swirl around for us. And we're going to go ahead and place that onto our turner. I'm going to go ahead and hit it up with my torch. And the first color or alcohol ink I'm going to use is this copper color. So this is a metallic copper, and you want to make sure whenever you use any of these metallics or pearls, you want to shake them really well. I mean really good, like 30 seconds to if not a minute. You want to make sure you shake them. And then we're just going to come through and we are going to dabble these inks around. So I didn't want to do too much. I don't want to get too crazy with it. So I'm just going to do pretty much just a few here and there. And I think that was pretty much it for the copper. I didn't come back through and do any more of that. So as you can see, it's really not a lot, just here and there. Then of course I'm going to come through with a gold, and I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm just going to, I was actually at first just trying to keep it where that spiral is to kind of keep it all together. But as you get going, it's all going to move around and do its own thing. You know what I mean? So just dabble that around. And again, I did not add a lot of that either, as you can see. Now I am going to take my handy dandy hair dryer that I've been using since day one here. I'm going to put that on high and I'm going to start shifting everything around. And again, I'm trying to keep this all not sped up so that way you can see what I'm doing, but I'm mainly focusing on that gold because it's the brightest, and I'm trying to feather that out, as you can see. So that's pretty much what I'm focusing on here. I'm also going to remove it from off of my turner as well and let it drip up and down so that way everything kind of shifts and gets that lovely kind of swirl effect going. But as you see, it's not clumping together, and sometimes those metallics will do that, and that's no good. But because we put 20 mLs over top of this and we made sure that it has a lot of fluid to move around on top of and float around on top of, it's not clumping together. Instead, it's giving that swirl that we want. Now, after I put it back onto my turner, I let it sit and spin for about 5 minutes just to kind of do its own thing. And you're going to see here in a second, I'm going to spritz something over top of everything to kind of break up all that. It's just my rubbing alcohol. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to spritz it on there and see what kind of effect I can come up with it. Don't be afraid to play around. You don't want to add too much. You don't want to mess with the cure of your epoxy, but just a little bit to kind of break up everything and kind of separate and give us that texture. And of course, as it continues to spin, it kind of comes and forms back together, but it definitely gives it a little bit more texture to the edges of everything. Also, do not be afraid to come in with a gloved hand and remove any excess that might be forming, like especially around the bottom of your tumbler. Don't be afraid to do that. Come through and remove it now, and then you can always come through and kind of fix it up if you need to. But it's definitely going to be kind of a pain in the rear if you have to let that cure and then have to sand that down, sand the bulges down. So just remove it now. Take care of it now. Smooth it out. So I'm going to continue to let that spin after I smooth it out, and I'm just going to use my blow dryer here and there to kind of continue to push everything around. I'm going to continue to spritz a little bit of this rubbing alcohol on it. I'm going to continue to take it off the turner and flip it up and flip it back down again to really get those swirls and that momentum going that I would like. But that's pretty much all there is to this base. It's super simple. It's done, within a day, and anything can be placed over top of it. It's a really cool effect. And don't be afraid to come through after this is cured and do this again. Layer it up. It'll make it look more like stone or something, like a gemstone or something. So don't be afraid to keep on layering it as you go. Do another layer of brown epoxy dye, another layer of, your foils if you want to, or your flakes and your inks. Don't be afraid to do that. But I liked it after this is cured and it comes off. I'll show you here in a second. I liked how it looked the first round, so that's what I'm going to work with. So after this is cured, if you feel like it needs another coat of epoxy before you add your decals, go ahead and do that. Sometimes there might be some divots in it, depending, so you can work with them there. But I didn't need another coat of epoxy, and I was able to move right into adding my decals. And look how pretty that is. Such a beautiful base. It's kind of like a galaxy or coffee. I mean, it really could be anything. So I was digging around through my decals, and I came across this book and these flowers that I'd gotten a while ago, and I was like, what could I get to go with that? So I found this quote off of Creative Fabrica, and I really liked it, so I cut it out. It came as is, and all I did was use a brown vinyl with a gold vinyl offset to go with it, and we're going to stack all this up and kind of create our own look here. So these are not UV-DTFs. These are clear or white-backed clear cast decals. There we go. And you just want to cut as close as you can to the decal because everything stays with it, but once you put epoxy over it, you won't be able to see the edges, if you guys have worked with it. I really enjoy using these, obviously. I also enjoy using UV-DTFs when it comes to doing things, but, these are really good as well to work with. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to cut the moon out, and I'm going to place that above everything once I get it all layered on. I'm going to go ahead and take my quote and I'm going to layer it on top of my book now. So I'm going to go ahead and lay that down on top of my book. I'm going to peel all that back and I'm going to get that placed down onto the tumbler where I would like it. Now this particular tumbler had a little bit of a curve there in the center, but I just kind of worked with it. All you got to do is just warm it up and burnish it down like how I'm doing here, and everything smooths out very nicely. Then I'll go ahead and take my little moon and I'll place that down right above our quote here. I was trying to figure out if I wanted it centered or off to the side. I liked off to the side. And I was already like in the middle of getting this started, and I was like, oh my goodness, I should probably make sure that this company still sells this decal. And I got nervous, but they still do. Okay, it's still out there. I'll make sure to put it down below where I got it. Okay. And the great thing about these big sheets with all these little decals on it is you can pick and choose what you'd want. I don't really need too much. I'm going to use some of these stars. I have a little cloud there to go with the front. And then I'm just going to use some of the foliage that it came with too. And then obviously there's going to still be a lot left to be able to do anything else you would like. There's those big old flowers on there still to do something else with. So, there's still a lot left over to be able to use. So again, I'm just going to come through, I'm going to layer down all my little decals. Again, with these ones, you leave everything on it. You don't peel anything back, and you just want to make sure that you burnish it down really good because all that clear area, you'll know if it's not burnished down because it'll kind of have like a little milky white look to it. If there's a bubble under it, don't be afraid to come through and pop it with a little needle and push the air out. Again, it just completely melts away once the epoxy goes over top. So don't be afraid of these if you've never used them. Now, once you have all your little decals down, you want to go ahead and give it another coating of spray sealer. And after I got it going here, it really just kind of reminded me of like a galaxy kind of look. So I wanted to add a little bit of glitter down into my epoxy. This is called Jupiter, and it reflects gold and red, which matches very well with the colors that I have going on here. So I'm going to go ahead and stir that in really good. And I believe I'm using just 15 milliliters of epoxy this time. I'm going to go ahead and spread that on really good. You can kind of see the glitter in there, so pretty. I'm going to go ahead and put all 15 mLs on. I'm going to hit it up with my torch first before I add any more glitter to it. And I was scrounging around through my glitter and I found this semi-translucent glitter. This is called Pennies from Heaven, and it shifts from like a red to a goldish brown, which goes perfect, especially after you could put it down. It really blended very well with all the colors, which is exactly what I wanted. So I'm just going to kind of place that here and there, just sprinkling it however much you want. This is all personal preference after this point. Of course, I'll let that first round cure, then I'll come through and add my final finishing coats of epoxy till it's nice and smooth, and she is ready to go. Whether you take this design and duplicate it as is, or you take it and let it inspire you to create something that is completely your own, I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial today. Again, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time.